everybody. I hope you're all doing well. I want to share with you an image that came to me, and I'm going to close my eyes so I can reconnect with the image. I thought it was very interesting, and I feel like we all need to be reminded of this, okay? So the image that came to me was a glass, and the glass was full of water. And I saw myself and I was crying, and I had this pitcher of water and I was pouring this water into a full glass of water, and the water was just spilling out all over the place. And I felt like there was this painful lack, and that could not be filled because the glass was already full. And I needed that pain to be filled, but you can't fill a pain that is already full. What this message was saying was that we have a full glass right now. In our life is a full glass, and we are experiencing that at all times. This divine moment is full, a cup that is full to the brim. Do you believe me when I say that? Why then do we feel lack? Why do we feel that the cup is not full and it needs to be more full than this? So, in this vision that came to me, I was afraid because I felt this is a complex message, all right? So bear with me. I felt as though when I stopped trying to pour more water into the full cup, I set the pitcher aside. I looked at the cup and it felt as though my life was this, okay, this glass. And to sustain life, I needed to drink from my own cup. So if I were to drink from my own cup, then I would then manifest lack in my life. And my life would become less and less and less and less and less, more empty. But I always have access to the pitcher that fills my cup at all times. So there's never any lack. So where is the manipulation? Where is it coming from? The perception that at any time we are less than a full cup. And if we feel like we are less than a full cup, the picture of life is right there. Therefore, we never have lack, ever, at any time, even if we feel lack. Do you get what I'm saying here? Do you understand the illusions that we're facing in day-to-day life and the emotions that we experience and how we perceive reality and what we have and don't have or don't have enough of that would then create the experience of lack when there's never lack? Never any lack, ever. All right, I had to tell you guys this message. So in telling you this message, I want to relax because I can't just share 3 minutes of wisdom. I have to give you guys more than this. I have to keep filling up cups for some reason. It just feels right inside myself. I don't know. So it's the joy and the excitement of embracing and journeying into the unknown to discover more. So I wanted to channel Thoth. And I love Thoth because, to me, Thoth is an energy librarian. And if you're a book reader or you're questing for knowledge and wisdom, perspective, truth, you can never have too many books. You can never have too much to tap into because you want to expand. So what do we do with a glass that's already full if we're starving for expansion? And we're already as expanded as we can be? My human mind thinks and ponders this. So I'm going to talk to Thoth and let's see what he has to say about my vision and the glass that tells us that our lives are always a full cup. But what about the feeling of it's not a full cup? Why are we questing for more and more and more? Why can't I just do a 3-minute message? Why do I now need to go to Thoth? And my heart is getting so bright in doing this, and it's making me feel alive and excited. Am I creating a bigger cup for more water? All right, enough about this. I'm going to relax and I'm going to tune in and let's see what Thoth has to say. And maybe he doesn't want to talk about cups and water either. I don't know. I'm just going to keep it open. Okay. Okay, he does want to talk about this. He wants to talk about the concept of lack. Okay, I'm going to slow down because it's not quite the right words to define the message. So I'm just going to slow down because this is going to be a feelings experience. It's going to be a heart-centered experience and discovery. Okay. All right. I experience being. I'm sitting on a chair and I'm watching a black screen with nothing on it. And I'm waiting and I'm waiting and I'm waiting and I'm waiting and I'm waiting. It's like I got a ticket for the show and the show never came. And in this time of waiting, I feel, in a way, led on. Led to believe that something more was going to take place and nothing takes place. And now I'm in pain over this perceived reality. This perception of the way things had been anticipated to be that didn't become that way. And now I feel lack. I feel even lied to. I feel let down. And I'm starting to notice that I am imprisoned in a way to this chair. And the chair has what are like metal straps that appear. So I'm actually stuck on this chair. What's interesting is he's showing me that nobody is trapped. Nobody's imprisoned. Nobody's forced. That I then had created my own shackle because originally I came to the show, but the show never came. I'm still attached to, where's the show? Why am I'm still waiting here? The show's gonna come, right? It's supposed to be here any day. And I can't seem to leave or move on or let it go. I become now trapped, waiting. It's almost like what this reminds me of is the perception of human ascension. It's any day now. Any day we're going to ascend. People forget that ascension is day after day after day. It is growing with an expanded awareness of love. It's not done. You know, being the microwave that cooked the meal, I can ascend now. The aliens are here. It's growth and development, learning forgiveness, learning unconditional love, learning patience, being non-judgmental, working on thyself. That is ascension every single day. So boring. Because we want it to be a celebration. We want it to be exciting. We want it to feel fulfilling, connected to each other. We want it to feel like more than a blank black screen. And we're waiting for the show to come. And we're still waiting. 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 And now he shows me the glass. And I'm just pouring and pouring and pouring more water in. And the glass is already full. He asked me if I understand yet. And I say kind of, yeah. I don't feel like I'm there quite yet. There's a sparkle of light on my face. I see it. It's it's in my mouth now. All right, the light is upon me. Okay. So I'm going to have to say that it wasn't what I hoped it would be. It wasn't what I thought it was going to be. I am present. I am on this chair. I am ready for something that is not here yet. I was pretty sure something was going to happen, though. So maybe nothing was going to happen. Maybe I am the show. Maybe I think the show is out there, but really it's inside myself. Again, it reminds me of really longing for change in the world, a change, like a really explosive, exciting new day and age that never comes. That's what it feels like. I'm doing my best to let go and move on from the scene, but for some reason I can't do it. I can't move on. And there's something that I choose to love myself more for staying. I choose to love myself more for becoming stuck in this experience. For some reason, it feels more humbling. It feels more like the human reality. You ever find your memories have a lot of moments like this? It's like a broken promise, another letdown. Why am I rolling my eyes again? It's almost like this scene is a reflection of that feeling. And Thoth is showing me again the glass is full. So really the challenge is, how do we feel that? And he wants me to come sit back down in the scene as I had been, and to explore how I can feel how full my cup is as I sit in this reality, in the dark, where nothing comes to create change of this dark place. And I'm imprisoned on this chair waiting for something. Now I am the full cup. I am the full cup. I can't put more into myself than I already am right now. I am a full cup right now. I'm not kind of a full cup. I'm not an empty cup. Not a single person on this planet is even remotely an empty cup. Even the most empty, quote unquote, empty people are not. Not even remotely close to empty cups. They're full cups as well. So I'm going to try to be a full cup on this chair. I feel the friction and the frustration. Is this another message echoing our relationship with anger, with frustration? With life not working out the way we want it to right now, and we don't know what to do with our emotions related to that. If you're watching this screen, you are going to see a ball of light upon me. All right. Before I dive into this, I had to go. I had a phone call, so the light is no longer upon me. But I do want to continue to explore this. I listened to the first part of this message, and I find it just simply interesting. How we can explore our perceptions, our relationship with reality through metaphors and symbolisms. We can find ourselves in these ways, you know? By creating a riddle or a concept that just totally blows our mind. Because we never thought of it like that. I never thought of myself as a full cup. Because I never even thought of that. And we always hear about the glass is half full. So I would say I would perceive myself as a glass is half full person because I'm a positive thinker. But what if we're always a full cup? And this whole concept of, I know what it's like to sit down into the experience of life and feel like there's this very long time that we are waiting for the juicy goodness of life to start oozing through the seams of our reality. And it just doesn't seem to come. I struggled with this a lot when I was younger. I struggled with feeling like life was as flavorful as eating cardboard. And it disturbed me. I struggled with depression a lot. I didn't want to live here for years and 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 years of my life. And I have conquered this depression. I have conquered the need to leave and not come back. I'm still sitting here in a way. Still waiting for the show to come? Or did I stop waiting for the show to come and I started to discover what I'm capable of? What fills my cup that was already full, but what it's filling it with is life force energy, is myself, is the love of myself, which is my love of life, which is my creative spark, which is my connection with everything, which is the pitcher of water that never runs empty. You know, I hear it so many times that, how do we exit the matrix? But when you stop wanting to exit the matrix and you start embracing this world as the world you chose, this body is the body you chose, and start saying, well, what can I do in this world with my gift of myself? That's when you are the show that finally decided to show up. Because you are it. You are it. So really you're waiting for yourself to come to life inside yourself. And everything in your life is already as fulfilling as it could ever be. So you have to tap into that truth. Okay, that was 3 minutes of wisdom again. 3-minute wisdom bombs here. All right, I'm going to just relax and tune into Thoth again. I feel like during this short intermission, I had DoorDash, so I was grabbing my groceries. And in this 3? Okay, so there must be a magical 3 thing going on here, because I don't think it was 3 minutes that I was in an intermission, but I guess I'm just thinking 3. But I was pondering all this, and then I came back and I re-listened to the message, and already I'm being pulled back into it. Already I'm kind of being transformed from what I was just talking about. So I'm just tuning back into Thoth, and let's just see what comes next in this message, okay? Okay. Now I am looking at 2 pathways. One pathway is the chair that I'm imprisoned in, waiting for the show. I could return to that and explore what makes me the show that I didn't perceive. I didn't perceive myself as the most meaningful part of my own life. Or I could go the pathway of discovering what's out there beyond myself. Everything out there is also a part of me. I get to look at it through the eyes of me, and then as though it is a mirror. It is such a weird reality we live in. So all that stuff out there is also a part of me, although I don't feel like it is as a human being. I feel separated from it. That's the gift of being human. So that we don't feel like we're connected to everything. So we, in a way, I guess you could say, feel lack. And trying to discover what is out there, which is simply discovering ourselves. So if we are leaving ourselves behind to go discover ourselves through what is out there, then we may be missing something important, which is coming back to discovering ourselves. Because if everything out there is simply the mirror of ourselves, then why would we need to leave ourselves to go find ourselves? We would simply need to return to ourselves. That sounds like the most painful, most lonely choice ever. But I'm going to do it. I'm actually on my way to an extraordinary, vast energy library full of so many interesting things to dive into. But instead of going there, I'm choosing to go back to the dark where the show has not shown up, where it feels like I'm stuck and imprisoned, where the glass does not feel full. Is that what my soul does? It's souls. It's choosing to find its way back to a challenging experience of self-discovery. Instead of being in a body, in an environment, in an experience where I'm constantly connected to the enrichment of all, I'm choosing to challenge myself, my soul, and by coming to a place where it tastes like cardboard, only to discover that all the magic is already inside of me. And now I'm telling you this. So what are you going to do with this message? Are you going to find the magic inside yourself? Is that boring? Is that too much time with you? This is interesting because I did a channeling with Kryon. I haven't shared it with you guys yet. And it is to answer a question about loneliness. And in this message, Kryon is telling us that to turn the feeling of loneliness inside out, we have to embrace how wonderful it is to be in love with ourselves, not with ego, just with enrichment. Because we're enriched souls. We are enriching people. But we have to discover that. We have to find that out by being in a relationship with ourselves. And what's interesting is I had this thought come into my mind many times. And it's no matter where I go, I will always have myself. And that is not a bad thing. That means I'll never be lonely because I'll never actually be alone because I'll always have myself. Have you ever gotten to know yourself as though yourself has an opinion, it has ideas? Ask yourself a question and then see what yourself has to say. And it seems like it's not coming from inside of you, but it's coming from out there. And so you just let yourself talk to you about the idea. It's something you should try if you've never done it before. I've done it so many times. I talk to myself all the time. I find it so therapeutic. I feel like sometimes I'm my best company because I can talk to myself and myself already knows what I'm going through. It knows my weird style of communication, so I can never say anything that would be misinterpreted unless I myself am not able to truly understand what I'm going through. So then I misinterpret my own reality. That's why we need each other. But if you spend enough time alone, you will go deeper and deeper and deeper and deeper into the depths of what makes you so different than everybody else. You aren't going to be absorbing a collective influence, people wearing the same trends, people talking in the same trendy ways, the trendy music that people like, the trendy jobs people want, like being a YouTube personality. You know what I mean? You can be your own person. But it is fun to be on YouTube, just so you know. It's worth it. You get to just be yourself. And just be whoever you want to be. Sometimes people like you. Sometimes people don't like you. But then you get to work on you based on people's perceptions of you. And based on how you feel about that, right? Okay, I'm still trying to get back to Thoth. This is interesting. This is a good conversation. I will share that Kryon message. I have no idea why I haven't shared it yet. It's the energy is just... I'm not there yet for some reason. I will be there. I will be there soon. I will put a link in the description to it if you want to listen in before I share it, okay? All right. So I'm going back to myself. And I tell Thoth how much I appreciated his time with us today. I feel like Thoth was an opportunity to just share in the experience with a consciousness that represents truth. And I value truth. I value truth. Truth is not an answer. Truth is deep, transformative wisdom. How many of us want an answer? But an answer never is good enough? The answer is no. No? Well, why no? because of this. No. You're not understanding me right. You're not understanding the situation right. The answer is simply no. I can't take no for an answer. That's how we work with answers. That's why answers, even from the spirit realm, okay, I need it plain. Give it to me straight. Okay, what am I going to experience over the next 6 months so I can be prepared for it? Everything is going to be okay. Ugh. Well, screw you people. How come you don't tell me anything like real? You tell me deep, transformative wisdom. So when everything is going to be okay, that's them telling me that I just need to live my life and work through it as it comes. My guides are here to help me through every experience. And if the world falls apart or the world becomes blessed with a transformative, extraordinary event, everything's going to be okay. I can't think of a more powerful answer, because that is kind of the truth. Everything is always going to be okay. No matter if you are in the worst circumstance or the most wonderful circumstance, it's always going to be okay. It's always going to be okay. And I value that. I value that. It doesn't mislead my ego. It doesn't trap me inside myself and the way I need it to be, the way I think I want it to be, for it to be good enough for me. Answers do that to us. Answers mislead us. They create passion and influence based on how balanced we are on the inside. That's why everything that you hear and you process and you experience, you have to do it from a place of patience and love and discovery. Not from a one-sided or two-dimensional flat surface of superficial needs and beliefs, but bring depth to it. Access your full cup with everything, if you can. Okay, I just feel the need to say the number 3. So 3. So instead of saying cheese, when you get your picture taken, you can say 3. There gotta be something to this number 3. It must be like an energy number for right now. I just feel it right now. Just needed to say that. Okay, should I be done with this message already, or should I just tap in a little bit more? Do you feel like it's complete yet? I feel almost complete. I don't feel there completely yet. Okay. I feel like I understand more about the full cup, but I don't feel like I'm totally there yet in experiencing that as my day-to-day life. Although I am more tuned into that truth, it's like you can know something, you really know it, but it's very hard to be that knowing. It's hard to evolve into that knowing. So let's say you know what's good for you, but you don't know how to be it. And that's part of the evolutionary process of transitioning from what is a thought into what is a being. And I can understand this concept, but how do I be this concept? And part of the answer that comes to me right now as I'm just talking about it is that life is sometimes where you find yourself on the chair, you're waiting for something that you thought was going to happen, and it doesn't happen. Years go by still waiting, not realizing you're waiting for something. We don't have any idea how many times this has happened, and parts of our soul are still waiting in time, and we need to bring those parts back. Sometimes life is going to simply feel like the glass isn't full, but it's nice then to revisit the truth, to catch up with our knowing. So maybe at times we're struggling to feel the being that we were able to feel a month ago. Now we're struggling to feel it right now because we're going through transformations, energies hitting us in different way. Reality is what it is, right? But we're working our way back to that being. so we can revisit it and rejoice in it again. So sometimes it's like it being taken away from our perceptive connection and truth with it, our beingness with it. It seems like it's disappearing when all we're doing is, it's almost like going through different types of processes only to become more in tune with that original feeling, amplified now more than it was before, because we're more able to embrace it the second time, the third, the fourth, the fifth, the sixth time, until it starts to just become ourself, become a part of ourself. You ever try to make a life change and then you do it and then you fall out of it and then you do it again and then you fall out of it and then you do it again, but every time you kind of revisit it, you're like, wow, why wasn't I doing this? Why did I fallen out with that? Man, this is so great. This is so wonderful. I'm going to stick with this for a while. And then life changes and does its thing, and then you fall out with it, and then you come back to it. It's kind of interesting. I want to say that there's times where we do this and we get closer and closer and closer to just shifting into moving forward with that as like a new part of our daily life routine. But a lot of the times we revisit it, and can't seem to get fluid with it. Like it just becomes like meditating every day. Sometimes you'll do it every day, and then there'll be times where you just don't. But then when you start doing it again, it's like, wow, why wasn't I doing this before? I guess I just needed a break, because now I appreciate that time meditating more now than ever before, because I understand the value of it since I took a disconnected time from it. You know what I mean? All right. I swear to God, I'm totally almost done. Almost done. I'm coming back to myself, and I'm disconnecting from the whole message. And I feel bright. And I don't feel like I need to fill my cup up anymore. Because just getting to share this time with you guys, getting to share my connection with the spirit realm and just share these messages with all of you is what allows me to access my true full cup experience. And that's why I love doing this. That's why I make these messages. Because I feel the connection with my fulfillment. Are there any things in your life that when you're doing that thing, it really helps you feel a connection with that fulfillment? It's important, though, that we acknowledge that our cups are full. And if we're struggling to feel the fullness, to ask our guides for help. All right, I know my cup's full, but I'm not feeling it right now. Can you give me support in accessing that fullness? Maybe there's a lesson I need to learn that I'm just not seeing it. I'm not understanding it. I welcome people into my life. I welcome opportunities to start working on this lesson. I choose to be aware that my glass is full and I want to feel that way. There's one more thing that comes to me. This is the final message. Another thought that I had, and every time I say thought, I think of Thoth. Another thought that I had, it's about heaven. And Joe just recently did a video on gods. Like, what are gods exactly? Like, what is Thoth? What is Ra? What is Aphrodite? What is Odin? Gods from our, from the stories of the past. Are they real spirit consciousness? Are they actual incarnate beings? Are they alien beings? And one of the things he says at the end, which I thought was really interesting, was about heaven. And our collective perception of heaven and our relationship with the incarnate state here and getting stuck in the loop. And it's for another conversation, because nobody's truly stuck in the loop. Only when we are working with our head over our heart. Because the true path to heaven is always through your heart. It's not through your mind. If you want to access heaven right now, the glass is full energy right now. You don't have to die to get there. You can actually just go into meditation by just sitting down. Meditation is so easy. All you do is relax. That's it. But to not fall asleep, you need to create an activity in a relaxed way. You just relax your body. And you try to feel what heaven might feel like in your heart, okay? And now try to feel it, okay, in your heart. Just allow yourself to perceive the feeling and then see if you can allow that feeling to grow and glow brighter and brighter and brighter. And that too is going to give you access to the pitcher with the infinite water that never stops flowing. Because that is the heart of your spirit, the heart of your birth. I don't know how to define time. A soul's born. There's infinite time, so there's only past, present, future, as the future is the past and the past is the present. So when does anything actually be born and die? It's like a cycle of development and expansion. Anyway, so when you choose to feel that, though, it's like you feel your home. You feel your birthright. You feel source. You feel the love of all. It's not about what heaven looks like or what you might get to do when you die, because so much of our mind is a misleading place. But our heart is an infinitely aware space of spiritual truth. There's no fear in spiritual truth. Spiritual truth is simply unconditional love. Unconditional love does not judge you. Unconditional love is totally like the ultimate nurture. And it loves you for who you are in ways that you struggle to love yourself. And it fills in all the gaps. And this is our connection to that full cup as well. It's another way to access it. And we have heaven every single day of our life in our heart. In our heart. We have access to all of our soulmates. We have access to all of our lifetimes we've ever lived and ever will live that are constantly in a rotation of expansion. So what we experience in this soul timeline will be experienced in another soul timeline, will be experienced in another soul timeline forever in every direction of past, present, and future. It's surreal. Like, when does anything stop growing? The whole universe dies, right? So when the whole universe is ready to just die and not exist anymore, then what does that say about God? And what does that say about us as parts of God? Then we too are God. We too are gods and goddesses. Extraordinary beings of light and love. And our cups are always full. Always, always, forever and ever and ever and ever and ever and ever and ever, our cups are full. You see? Cups are always full. You are the show. You are the meaning. Okay. I feel complete. I feel very complete now. So what are you going to try later? Meditate? Just chill out. Just chill out on your couch. Close your eyes. And try this, okay? It's like, get the newspaper out and do it like a little puzzle. You can just get yourself on the couch and close your eyes and then challenge yourself to feel the love inside your own heart, getting brighter and brighter and brighter. One way to tap into it is to explore a memory of a moment that meant a lot to you in your life, where you felt like you could cry even, where you felt blessed. If you don't feel like you have a single memory of that, then explore gratitude. I always try to challenge myself to be grateful for the people that piss me off, for the situations that get under my skin. I choose to do that because I don't choose to be human about this. I choose to be my full cup about life as much as I can be. So if I look at what makes me vulnerable, it's good to be human. It's good to feel vulnerable. We came here to feel these ways. But I also choose to challenge myself to feel grateful. To feel grateful for every person, every lesson, every experience. That too is the power of unconditional love. That too is the frequency of true heaven. Because true heaven is always in gratitude of every soul. Every soul's choice. Even if that choice is selfish or it's hurting other people, it's insecure, it's afraid. It doesn't understand itself in human form because it's hard here. But we are students and teachers. And so to feel that inside our hearts is to feel heaven. And it will help you feel brighter and more empowered in life when you choose to do this test of gratitude. When you choose to meditate and allow yourself to feel heaven, okay? So I'll put links in the description to the Kryon video if you want to watch it. I'll share that sometime this week. I promise I'll do it. Also, I'll put a link to Joe's video if you're interested in watching it. So thank you all so much just for hanging in there with me and going on this journey and this experience. I hope you had fun. Thank you for being a part of my life. And I'm just still trying to come back to reality here, back to myself. And I feel so happy. All right. I'm cool. I'm cool now. If any of you are interested in connecting with me one-on-one for a psychic session, please visit me at my website at abbeynormalswisdomquest.com. I have 2 other YouTube channels, so you can check me out at Abbey Psychic Services and Zodiac Energy Readings. And then I'm also on Patreon. If you're interested in joining my Patreon community, you can do so at patreon.com/abbeynormalswisdomquest. All right, have a great day, everyone.